Well, this has slipped right under the radar and it is quite worrying. Let's begin. Now, first of all, of course, so YouTube doesn't stuff my head up my bum, I've just got to point out that no matter what you believe in, nothing gives you the right to damage anyone's property. And that goes with all riots, not just the ones that have been going on in the last couple of days. But anyway, Nigel Farage has come out, let's just say stamped all over Keir Starmer's man sausage, and has laid bare the facts of what Keir Starmer plans to do. And according to this article, he has blasted Sir Keir Starmer as the biggest threat to freedom of speech in Britain that the country has seen in our history. But that is not it. He also goes on to talk about the laws, or proposals rather, that the government actually want to teach children. I mean, just listen to this.
And when you're engaged in something like that, you can never ever guarantee that what you say is 100% true. You may think it's true at the time. You may ask a question whether it's true. Now, Starmer, by cracking down on that, poses, I think, the biggest threat to free speech we've seen in our history. And Elon Musk has caught wind of this. You see, I think the reason Musk has been going for Starmer over the last week is he knows what the reaction is going to be. And can I just add, worse still, there is a proposal today that from the age of 5 years old, our kids in schools should be taught to spot extremism, to spot fake news and misinformation, and to use their powers of critical thinking to work out what's true and what's not. Now, by the way, I believe in critical thinking. However, if the parameters that are set are to say to every kid, if you read a post that questions net zero and global warming, it will be extreme content and a lie. If you read a post that even dares to question levels of immigration, legal or illegal, into Britain, that's extremist, then you start to set a narrative for a future generation that is fundamentally undemocratic. So I am very worried that the instincts of a left-wing Labour Party are to use this crisis to take away our liberties and our free speech. And this is going to have to be fought.
And yeah, of course, I don't know about you, but I personally think that is quite terrifying. I mean, are we going to have a generation grown up to be even more woker than what they are at the moment? I mean, apparently in the local college down the road, they have a student who actually identifies as a cat. A cat. And apparently, according to my son, who was a student at that college, the cat had its own litter tray in a room somewhere in the college, which if you think about it, I could be wrong, but as far as I'm aware, cats don't actually go to college, and surely he should have been told that when he applied. I mean, that's just common sense, isn't it? And if you teach children that you can't talk about this or you can't think about this, then they'll just let these things happen, won't they? And I'm not just talking about the cat thing, I'm on about net zero and immigration that he was talking about in the video. Maybe, who knows, one day they could even come after us YouTubers. Channels such as mine, Ex-Army Paz, Andy the Gabby Cabby, even Maya Tusi, us guys, even though admittedly I've got a lot less subscribers than them. You can help out with that though. Might have to worry about what we say more than what we do already, eh? I mean, let's face it, at the very start of this video, I had to point out what I believe, so YouTube don't actually think I'm a tosspot and get the wrong end of the stick. Which obviously I hope they wouldn't do, but you never know, do you? So you have to be careful nowadays. Elon Musk, though, he apparently has gone all after Starmer as well. And Nigel has praised him over this as well, and he said that Elon Musk has caught wind of this. And I think the reason that Musk has been going after Starmer over the last week is he knows what the reaction is going to be. And don't get me wrong, children should be taught how to think, not what to think. And it does seem, doesn't it, that does appear what the government wants, to teach them what to think rather than how. And that is, if anything, very, very wrong, because children do need an identity and personality of their own, especially when they're grown up into adulthood, eh? Elon Musk, though, he has apparently replied to Nigel saying, true. And speaking on Times Radio this morning, Shadow Home Secretary James Cleverly warned that Labour has a long tradition of overreach in terms of freedom of speech and civil liberties, which, if anything, is quite worrying, isn't it? I'm guessing he actually wants to be Keir Stalin rather than Keir Starmer, but admittedly, I could be wrong. Mr. Cleverly said that he is not comfortable with some of the calls I've had to make more recently, and some of the examples that I've seen where people would fear that debate, legitimate debate, and disagreement becomes policed, and that's where we have some kind of social censorship by the back door. Which, if anything, I think he's kind of right, isn't he? At the end of the day, everyone has a right to free speech, whether the government likes that or not. And I'm not trying to say that people have a right to do horrible things like incite violence or hatred or whatever else. I'm trying to say that everyone should be able to give their opinion without the fear of being prosecuted for it.